stage and developed by a single developer with the help of a few talented artists, I was really blown away.
This man is single-handedly going to reignite the flame of the Titanfall community, and I personally can't wait. Let me tell you, after just seeing one of his videos for the first time today, this man is cooking.
Before any of us discovered Titanfall and the sheer number of movement shooters we see today, it's very likely that back in the day you were on Call of Duty, Battlefield, and if you're that much of an OG, then you were most likely playing one of the first games that kickstarted movement shooters, Quake. But fast forwarding to today, we have played through Titanfall 1, 2, and even prayed to EA and Respawn to give us Titanfall 3. And we're getting it alright, it's just not coming from Respawn or EA. You see, the same dedicated members of the Titanfall community has decided to carry on the flame of Titanfall and pass it down to a game that's currently in development that gives everyone hope in the franchise. And that is none other than Diesel Knights. Set in a steampunk universe, Diesel Knights has the potential to be Titanfall's successor, to succeed where EA and Respawn failed. This game is being developed by an extremely small team of people, with the lead of development being Xavier B. Johnson, who also makes videos on his channel for and about the game. Now at first glance, it doesn't take a genius to see that the game is still in its early stages of development, pre-alpha to be exact. So to all the people that say, oh, but the game looks like it was made on PlayStation 2, please relax. This is what we call game development. There are also a handful of other 3D artists who are working with Xavier to make this game really come to life. But of course, Diesel Knights is obviously a first and third person mech movement shooter, and it's clear to see the inspiration was taken from Titanfall. Now multiplayer is still in the works. The only real thing that is available to play right now is the single player and tutorial part of the game. There's only one map available, which is the training grounds, and an unfinished map which is, funnily enough, available in a split screen mode. A feature that massive AAA gaming studios have completely forgotten about and left in the dust to die and rot with our childhood. I remember the days as a kid going over to your friend's house with your games and a controller in your bag, a bunch of snacks, and playing split screen zombies and multiplayer all night until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. But with that, there are also 3 different modes which are available in the single player mode, which is all very similar to the gauntlet run in Titanfall 2. The training ground has 3 different modes: time trial, score trial, and free run. Now the training grounds basically just has you as the default character and you run around practicing the wall running, double jumping, all whilst shooting the targets around the map. And of course, you get to meet your Titan, if you will. Or is this a Diesel Knight? Or is this a Diesel Knight? Come to think of it, I actually have absolutely no idea. But Diesel Knight feels like a love letter to the Titanfall franchise from the fans, the players of the game. Everything about it has serious potential. And as long as Xavier keeps getting the support that he needs and he never gives up on this game and truly sticks to the roots, then along with everyone else who plays it, we'll have something to truly be happy about here. The movement in the game does obviously need a little bit of tweaking, and I'm sure this will get worked on over time, and one of those things being the sprinting. In Diesel Knights, your character automatically sprints over time, which makes it almost feel as if though you don't really have a lot of control over that aspect of movement. Having the ability to set the sprinting to press or hold, or even simply remove the delay to sprint and have your character always sprinting, very similar to how it is in Apex when your auto sprint is on, would probably be the better choice. I would also like to feel as if the character is moving faster in the game, because the adrenaline from moving fast while wall running and shooting your weapon is one of the reasons why the Titanfall movement system is so good to even begin with. There is one thing that Diesel Knights executes very well, which almost goes completely against the grain of Titanfall to begin with, and that is the game's third-person mode. The thing about Diesel Knights is that for some reason, the game somewhat feels like it was almost meant to be played in third-person mode, which is very strange, because first-person is great, especially if you're an FPS lover, but the third person in this game revamps how we decide to look at movement shooters. The movement in third person feels a lot more smoother and dynamic. The way the camera tilts and adjusts to your movement as well is a really really nice touch, which actually makes the third person mode so good in this game. The ADS in Diesel Knights definitely does need some work. The zoom that you get when aiming with an iron sight weapon kinda makes me feel like I'm looking directly into the future. It is satisfying, however, to shoot things, even if they are just dummies, and since the game is set in a steampunk style universe, it's very curious to see what kind of weapons could be added going into the future. Let alone the Titans, or Knights, or Diesel Knights. Somebody really needs to clarify what this is, please. And it's sad because EA and Respawn failed the community by not making anything Titanfall related as a standalone. Instead, they'd rather invest into the extremely depressing state of Battlefield, and I'm sure we don't need to go over what an absolute state 2042 was. Let alone FIFA. Controversial, but it's literally just a reskin of the same thing every year with better graphics, a different UI, and maybe some nicer lobby music. Respawn completely understands that anything along the lines of a Titanfall game would do absolute numbers, because only God knows how a Titanfall 3 would absolutely bring the entire gaming community to its knees. And with the massive player base of Apex Legends tying into that, because a lot of people only discovered Titanfall because of Apex Legends, it's, well, clearly no doubt that the Titanfall franchise could thrive beyond levels completely surpassing what it was previously ever capable of. But the death of Titanfall was most definitely not in vain. Sometimes you need to lose some to get some. And with that, we got a small passionate team of creators delivering a revolutionary back scratch for the OG Titanfall fans. Because unfortunately, for a lot of the OGs, Apex just doesn't scratch that itch. I mean, right before Season 23 dropped, there were leaks from a lot of sources indicating that wall running and double jumping would get added into the game since the devs were bringing back some of Titanfall's content into Apex. For instance, the EPG. And now it's completely understandable that EA has most of their financial attention on Apex. I mean, after all, it is their biggest moneymaker. But man, is Titanfall 3 one of the biggest missed opportunities we have possibly ever seen. So, my fellow Titanfall vets, weepeth not, for there is hope. It's a small light, and it may not be coming from Respawn, EA, or even the Titanfall franchise, but it is coming from someone who used to love hopping into Titanfall multiplayer to have fun for a few hours just like you did back in the day. We have seen some seriously monumental, impressive feats that have come from small indie developers in the past couple of years. I mean, just take a look at something like Palworld, developed by a very small team of people and led to become a massive success within the gaming community. So have some hope, because it's not looking too dark. But anyway, boys and girls, that's all I got for you today. Thank you once again for coming to listen to my annoying rant. Please feel free to check out some more of the content that I have for you up on screen right now, and of course, I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.